This is Net News Network headline news in 3 minutes for Tuesday, April 12th, 2022. Well, the big crappy news of today is this news coming out of New York, where at least 16 were shot or hurt by a man wearing a gas mask and a construction vest in a New York subway. At least 16 people were shot or otherwise injured after a lone gunman in a reflective vest and a gas mask threw smoke bombs on a subway car in Brooklyn and began shooting. A manhunt is now underway as details continue to emerge in the developing situation. Police say the shooting happened on a Manhattan-bound N train making express stops just before 8:30 a.m. The suspect was seen mumbling to himself before donning the gas mask and removing a canister from a bag before the car began to fill with smoke. He then opened fire with a handgun, striking several people on the train and on the platform at the 36th Street subway station in Sunset Park. After passengers spilled onto the platform, everyone who was not wounded was told to get back in the train. The perpetrator dropped those smoke cans, if that's what they are, and shot around and then exited. From that point, retired New York City Chief of Detective Robert Boyce said, "He's not going to stay on there if there's smoke on there, even if he has the filter mask." Shell casings were recovered on the train and on the platform, along with the handgun that had 3 extended round magazines, one in the gun jammed, which is believed to have saved lives. Multiple smoke devices and a bag of commercial-grade fireworks were also recovered. The cameras in the station were inoperable. Law enforcement officials were able to get an image of the suspect from a bystander's cell phone video, however. There was also a report that there were 4 bags of possibly explosives or deemed suspicious, but they were later determined to be unfounded. And of course, all the Democrats and politicians are coming out about the guns. We're getting rid of the guns to stop this mass shooting. My guess is, though, this guy is going to be known to law enforcement and has probably had a long history of arrests and probably had a long history of being turned loose by prosecutors and or liberal judges in New York. We have a crime problem in this country, and we have a mental health problem in this country, neither of which are being addressed properly. And until politicians wake up and decide to address those issues, these things are going to continue to happen. If they don't have guns, they'll use some other kind of weapon. You see this in other countries. Democrats are always talking about getting to the root of the problem. Well, the root of the problem here is the failure of the criminal justice system and the lack of mental health services. The Pentagon on Monday expressed alarm about reports, as yet unconfirmed, that Russian forces loyal to President Vladimir Putin employed chemical weapons against Ukrainian troops in the besieged city of Mariupol. A move that, if true, would represent a major shift to the conflict there and Western involvement in it. The supposed use of some sort of toxic aerosol dropped from a drone apparently operated by Russian forces was first reported by the far-right Azov Regiment, one of the elements of Ukraine's armed forces operating in the key port city that has come under devastating and indiscriminate Russian shelling in recent weeks. The regiment reported late Monday that nearby troops subsequently had trouble breathing. Other elements of the government of the U.S. and Ukraine did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Several Ukrainian military sources operating in the conflict zone could not independently verify to U.S. News, which is who has this report, the substance of the reports. It's only a matter of time before the West gets involved in this conflict. Russia is pushing the buttons. And once again, I hope you are preparing accordingly. And while you're out and about, if you live in the city, pay attention to what's going on around you. Don't just keep your head in your phone or be off somewhere in La La Land listening to your earbuds. Pay attention. Watch people. Be safe. This has been Net News Network, headline news in 3 minutes. For more, visit netnewsnetwork.net. Thanks for listening.